Hey there crew, it's Mark, and in today's video, we're going to be checking out the Slim Plus from MeePlus. This is the mini that I have. We'll be checking out the notebook as well as all of the different paper inserts that you can choose. And I'm also going to give you 3 different ideas on how you can use this notebook in your own life. Not that long ago, we checked out one of the other larger sizes from MeePlus, which I'm currently using for my ink swatch journal. It's been awesome to have, and I really appreciate the size, but I thought, let's try this mini to see how usable can something like this really be. From a size perspective, you can get these different notebooks in a mini. You have a pocket size, narrow, personal, as well as an A5 size. And all of the different sizes have a variety of different inserts. One of the big differences between the mini, the pocket, and then moving into the narrow, personal, and A5 size is that the narrow, personal, and A5 have 6 of these different rings that you have that are spaced out. The pocket size has 6, but they're closer together. And then this mini here only has 5. Inside of the packaging for this, we got our binder here. We also got one of our little sectioners here. This is just gonna help protect the leather on the outside of this from getting those ring marks on it. It's really fantastic to help protect against that. They open up like any ring binder would. We've got those nice and open there, and then we can slip in all the different accessories that we need. One of the cool things about this notebook is I also was able to get it engraved with my name, which is an option that you can get if you're interested in checking out anything else from MeePlus. Now, the other thing that I really do like about these is that they are rounded edges. Some of the other planners that look similar to this have harder edges, and that can scratch up the inside of your purse. Sometimes people catch their fingers on it. So the overall design, that make everything about it is absolutely beautiful. It smells really nice too if you're a fan of the smell of leather. But let's go ahead and talk about everything we can fill inside of this notebook, which is just as exciting as the binder itself. The first thing we'll take a look at are going to be the dividers that you can get. There's a wallet divider for this mini size, which can fit probably a handful of cards. I think I was able to fit about 5 cards inside of here. It also has an option to get a pen holder on it, and then also your elastic band, which then straps around your notebook to hold it together. With this one being so small, this is a really great idea, especially if you don't want to carry an extra wallet around. You have your notebook, you take a pen along with you, you stick a few cards in here, and you're good to go. There's also an option for more of a plastic insert here if you want to. Instead, there's nothing extra on this one, no pen holder, but you do have the elastic band that works the same exact way as the other to hold your binder shut. When it comes to the accessories for this mini, there were a whole lot of options, and I was so excited to check them all out. Think about different ways that I could incorporate them into my day-to-day, into my week-to-week. There's even other blank ones for you, blank. We've got some dot grid here and some divided too. And if you're interested, there are some calendar views, which are super cool, that open up and fold out so you can take a look at everything that's going on within a full year. One of my favorite refills that I like the most, I think, out of all of them is the 2-day daily that's inside of this mini size here. There's 40 sheets that come inside of a pack. You have your date that you can put in here at the top, circling which day of the week. You have 3 spaces here for tasks or notes or whatever you want, and an open area here. And that can cover you really nicely as you open up your page to cover you for a full week inside of a spread. I actually use these a lot in an example while I was on vacation for some memory keeping, so I'll show you those when we go ahead and review through the different ways that you can use these mini notebooks. If you're looking for a little bit more space to track different types of lists and things that are going on, this list insert is really fantastic. You have check marks over here, open circles, and then a lot of space here to write any type of task or notes that you have going on. This could pair perfectly along with your dailies as well if you needed to. Tracking the full week, tracking each day by itself, a really great way to use these in conjunction with each other. Another way to view your week is with this vertical weekly. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as well as a this week overview here on the one side. And then when you flip to the other side or have your notebook open, you'll see the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all on here. I loved this overview a lot. I think this works really, really well. It covers you for everything that you need. And then as you're turning those pages and working, each week is then accounted for as you go through. If you're looking for a little bit more than just the daily task and you want to kind of put everything together, this was a really fantastic weekly view that I really enjoyed as well. This covers you for each day. You put your date. You also have some hydration trackers here, or you could use this for whatever type of tracker you wanted to, rename it for yourself. A small to-do list here that's going to have 6 individual tasks for you to accomplish. And then I really like this small opening over here, jotting down daily notes, lists, kind of anything like that. And then as you're flipping through here, you get each day on here. And what I also really appreciated about this view here as a lefty is that I will use my journal this way. The rings are at the top. I can write nice and easily without my hands hitting these. This is a fantastic view and a fantastic overall layout, like I said, for my lefty friends, or honestly for everyone who doesn't like to get their hands caught on rings. The good thing is that these rings are relatively small anyway. They're easy to work over, but this just eliminates all of that, which I'm a big fan of. If you're keeping notes and tasks somewhere else, but you just want a dedicated tracker journal, this notebook would work out great along with the insert here. You have the weekly tracker, write whatever you're tracking here, and then all 7 days of the week, space up here to write the week of, so you can keep track of everything. And those are double-sided as you're working through this as well. And again, I'd like this layout because of the horizontal orientation. You saw a little bit of a preview of this, but this is a expandable calendar that you can hold inside of the Mini as well. You can jot down the dates. If you're just trying to look for the numbers of the months, this is a great resource. I really don't think you're going to be able to fit a whole lot more than that. So this is definitely used to fill out the numbers throughout the entire year for a quick reference. Open it up, accordion's right inside of here, so you don't need to worry about taking it out whenever you want to use it. It's nice and easy to use. And I thought that was a really cool design feature. If you're looking for a little bit more versatility with your monthly calendars, there is another insert that is another horizontal monthly here. You can write down the month, you put in the dates, and then on the back side of this, there is a graph grid, which I liked this too because I use this similar to how I would use my bullet journal. You can write down list and notes or whatever you feel like you have to capture for that entire month, reflection, intention. It really opens yourself up to whatever you'd like. If you're more the type that likes to figure out stuff on your own and not have to find inserts that perfectly fit your needs, there are different types you can get. There are blank pages that you can fill out. There is also dot grid. I really like this, especially as a bullet journaler, being able to write those dailies down and rapid log right on here. It keeps things in line without having to have lines on your page, which I liked. And then there was another really cool one, and you'll see me use this a lot in my examples, which is a 3-grid divided box. And this was cool because you can really use it for whatever you want, sectioning things out. It's front and back, it's color coded. So you have a lot of options too when it comes to how you want to use your notebook and your journal and all of these beautiful, amazing inserts. There honestly are so many different options. It's kind of crazy to think about how you can use them. But what I want to do with you now is share 3 of the ways that I've used these inserts for myself from a travel perspective, a meet and greet conference, as well as a new way that I'm keeping one of my gaming journals. All right, first let's go ahead and check out the travel journal that I use. Now, I'm not big on long form journaling personally, so finding different ways to use it and memory keep or jot down important things was something new for me to try. So I took this on vacation with me when I went down to Florida, and I thought, what can we capture in here? What makes sense and which of these layouts really fit what I needed? So I went ahead with this one here. So this was the double daily that we had where we could put in the day of the week, the date, and then a few extra spots here. So I really just jotted down some notes. We left at 7 a.m. We arrived in Sanibel, Florida at 3:30 a.m. the next day, 20 hours straight through, obviously stopped for breaks and food, and thankful for my wife for driving a little bit. And the dogs did great in the car, which was really fantastic. And then when I did each full day that I was there, at the end of the day, I would come down and just jot down a handful of things. I jotted down that it was sunny and 75 degrees. My first time finding giant shells in Sanibel, which is really exciting. We went to the farmer's market, and I just wanted to capture small things. I wanted to try my hand at a little bit of sketching. So we found even more bigger conch shells while we were down there. One that was so big that my daughter was actually in the newspaper, which is fun. We went to the shell museum. We saw an alligator, like all kinds of fun stuff. Capturing a few other things, going out to dinner in Captiva, going to multiple beaches, Topgolf. It was a lot of fun and a really great way just for me to capture a handful of things. You know, I also wanted to do a little bit of memory keeping. Now, I didn't do so great because I only did one page because honestly, everything else was at the beach. There was nothing to kind of put in here, no ephemera or anything like that. But we did go to the Shell Museum on one of those days. So I just wanted to capture a few things. The sticker that we got, drew a little thing of one of my favorite little lined seahorses. They had a giant Pacific octopus there. So just grabbing a handful of those. I could have done better on this, but I'm very much new to it. The fact that I kept up with this the entire vacation registration was a big enough feat for me, but I liked that I kind of inspired myself a little bit and giving myself some new ideas on how I could take on a travel journal in the future. Another way that you can use these small little pocket journals, I actually took this with me when I went to Go Wild this year, and I used a bunch of different pages for different things. So I used this 3-block grid here for who I met. This was people that I was hanging out with, that were at my tables, the table mate gifts, things that I worked with. It was just really important for me to be able to capture these individuals, make sure I followed them online. I don't do really great with a lot of name recognition right off the bat. It takes a minute. So capturing them and being able to revisit them and check them out online was really awesome. I also use this as something that, again, I don't really do long form journaling, but I did use a little bit of this for myself to capture it. This was a really exciting year for myself. I was able to go, I was presenting with Jess, and just having a really good time. So I thought, let me capture some of that. So I used the blank page on here just for that open form journaling. I also used the insert that had the pen holder here. I just kept my pen with me the whole entire time, which was great. It made it really easy to jot things down, capture people's names, and in this case, do some journaling as well inside of here. And having it horizontally, again, as I mentioned, as a lefty, it's really nice and easy for me to write this way. So I really do appreciate that lineup. And then I did use the double days here for me to catch just a little bit of information. Since I kept this in my pocket the whole time, I wanted to write down the things that were really important, like getting to the airport on time, what time was registration, where was I at the hotel, just so I could let my driver know when I arrived. And then also writing down some of the daily most important things that happened during Go Wild, when lines opened, when the crop was, what was happening. So this is a really great way, again, just to document everything for a small amount of time. That way you keep everything in one spot. You know, okay, I have some extra pages, like I brought extra pages with me in the back in case I needed them. And that way, if I'm meeting more people, or if I'm gathering business cards or meet and greet cards, or even sharing my own, all of everything I needed was self-contained right here inside of this notebook, which was pretty awesome. And like I said, I really appreciated having a little pen holder, and that way everything I needed was right here together, and I wasn't searching all over for my pen or my notebook or a different journal. So it was pretty cool. And the last thing I want to share with you is a gaming option. Now I have a Diablo gaming journal that I've already been using and I set up, and you can check that out in a previous video I had, but I used a different notebook for that. And a lot of these inserts really rang out to me on like, how could I use them for what I needed? So in Diablo, if you're not a fan or don't really know about it, you're creating a character and you're upgrading your gear, and you need certain elements that you're going and kind of collecting as you continue to level up. So what I've done for myself is I made kind of an end game gear. There's a lot of different versions of things you can gear up and do, but essentially, what were the different pieces? What did I need for my helm, my chest plate, my gloves? And I just kind of created a checklist for myself as I went through. What were the things that I needed to get when it comes to like aspects and things like that to add to the gear? I don't want to get overly dorky with you, but it was just a really great way to keep track of it. You can do it inside of the game, but there's so many menus and different things that you can get and that you don't need. So this was a really fun way for me to really pay attention to, you know, what I needed to do, what aspects went on which part of my gear, so that if I needed to upgrade it quickly, I could just look at my gaming journal instead of having to go back online and look at some of those other builds. I was able to just kind of figure everything out that I needed to. Adding runes, end game boss powers for this past season was a big thing. So making sure I knew what I wanted to do and where I needed to go. And having these checklists, again, was just super fun. Even with something like this, if there's like unique things that I don't always remember that I need, because I'm still a relatively new player, it was awesome to have these. So if I got something that was a unique piece, I could just go and be like, oh, do I need this? Check. Okay, let's add it to where it is. And then also there's some mythic builds that happen later on in the game, and you need certain elements to be able to do that. So as I'm going around and collecting, I can keep track here as I go through. And I want to continue to use this. Every season, I usually pick a different character. So to be able to almost create like a library of my favorite builds, I think can go in here. So I'm excited to continue to use this for myself as I continue to build out a cooler and nicer gaming journal. So we checked out a lot of stuff in today's video, all of the fun accessories that exist for the MeePlus Slimpad, specifically in the Mini. Again, there are other sizes, so if you're not into super small journals, just know that you have those other size options available for you. There are a ton of accessories, different ways to approach it, different colors of the leather as well. We didn't talk a whole lot about that in today's video, because we've already done a MeePlus review before on the other sizes, but there are a lot of beautiful options. And what I like about this is that they're less expensive than some of the other similar ring binder brands out there. They're really focusing in on how can they reduce those costs, but still create a lot of different ideas and accessories and ways for you to use these journals and these notebooks in your life. So let me know in the comments below how you use your pocket journals or your mini journals if you have one, and if not, what are some ideas that you might use this for yourself? I'll put all the links for everything down in the descriptions below, and as always friends, thanks for watching. See ya.